Recognized for your questions.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Yesterday, we saw Senate Democrats set fire to the Constitution when they refused to allow your impeachment trial. You, sir, as the bidder of Joe Biden's policies, have set fire to the sovereignty of this nation, to the safety and security of this nation, in a total disregard to the law of the land. The Secure Fence Act of 2006 requires you to maintain operational control of the border. And they define operational control as preventing the entry of terrorists, unlawful aliens, and narcotics. You know, it doesn't surprise me now when I go back and talk to law enforcement officers in my home state, and they tell me that the crime crisis is so bad, the amount of human trafficking, fentanyl trafficking, and the crime related to those is so bad, they tell me that we cannot arrest ourselves out of this. I could triple their officers and it wouldn't be enough to cover the cases. Mr. Secretary, how many people have died from fentanyl in this country? In the last 3 years, the last year?
Senator, I would be pleased to provide you with that data.
What would be your guess?
Senator, I don't want to guess. But
so you don't know. 250,000 Americans have died from fentanyl poisoning, and that's on your shoulders. How many people have you paroled in the last 3 years? Any idea?
Senator, I would be pleased, as I
mentioned. You're in charge of this. You have no idea. Is it 1 million? Is it 2 million? Is it 2 or 3?
Senator, I would be pleased to provide.
How many of those have committed a crime? How many people that have you paroled have committed a crime?
Senator, if you would be, if you're pleased to.
Mr. Secretary, do you recall a visit in January to Eagle Pass? You were in Eagle Pass in January. Do you recall that visit?
I recall the precise month, but I've made over 20 visits to the border, so forgive me for not remembering the.
Do you recall being in a room in Eagle Pass, Texas, with a large number of Border Patrol officers? Did you admit the release rate was 85% at that time?
Oh, as I've testified before, I don't remember the particular exchange to which you refer.
What percent would you say, or what range would you say are released?
I don't want to guess, but as I've said before, Senator, I would be pleased to provide you with whatever data.
How can you come to this hearing and not know these things? These are things that I know, and this is 1/100th of my job as well. So listen, you said at that meeting, and I got multiple witnesses, that that we were releasing 85% of the folks at the border. There's no way possible that you could vet that number of people at a time. 85% of the people coming in illegally, breaking our laws, no vetting process, essentially giving them a phone, free health care, and a plane ticket or bus ride to somewhere. You say you're protecting the nation's sovereignty, but you've really facilitated an invasion. Sir, this is an invasion. 11 million illegal encounters under your watch. Next question. Why are you mass importing tens of thousands of Venezuelans into our country via parole, knowing they can't be deported because Venezuela isn't accepting removal flights?
We are not doing that, Senator.
You're not paroling tens of thousands of Venezuelans into this country.
Senator, your question was broader than that. The way you framed your question, we are not doing that which you asked.
Are you importing tens of thousands of Venezuelans into this country?
The term importation is incorrect. We have a Cuban, Haitian, Nicaraguan, Venezuelan parole program for those Venezuelans who are paroled and who do not have a basis to remain.
So why are you paroling them knowing that Venezuela won't take return flights?
So that is false. We have, in fact, negotiated in the past removal flights to Venezuela. Those are suspended right now. We also remove Venezuelans to Mexico, for example. So an individual who does
So why do you say it's not correct when it's been suspended? That's why Americans don't trust you. That's why Americans don't trust the government anymore, is because you're setting up, you're twisting the truth, giving incomplete answers. This is really a de facto amnesty orchestrated by your administration. There's a reason why Venezuelans won't take them back. Next question. It's my understanding that we have technology deployed that helps track the number of gotaways that have unlawfully crossed our borders and evaded capture by our Border Patrols. Is that correct?
We do have technology that is a force multiplier for our personnel.
Okay. Again, under oath today, I'm asking you, has this technology been operational since you took the post?
I would like to get back to you if there's any deficit in its operational capability. Senator, I'd be pleased to get back to you on that.
Has the system ever gone down under your tenure?
I'd be very pleased to provide you with that subsequent to this hearing.
How could you not know that? How could you not know what type of, is it been down once or twice? Has it been down for weeks at a time, months at a time? Any just range or thought that you could give us? Do you keep track of it in any way, shape, or form?
Senator, we deploy so many different technologies across the expanse of our department, which consists of 268,000 people. If a technology goes down for a short period of time, I may not have visibility of that. I'm the secretary of the department.
Do you think it's been down for a significant amount of time or an insignificant amount of time?
Senator, as I've previously said, I would be pleased to provide you with the information you request subsequent to this hearing. I will look into it.
How can you keep track of the gotaways if you have no program in place that tells us when this is working or not working?
I'm sorry, Senator, can you repeat your question?
Yeah, how can you tell how many gotaways you're reporting if you don't know when this technology is working or not working? In other words, how do we know that the 2 million known gotaways is a good number?
Senator, the individuals on the ground in U.S. Customs and Border Protection have visibility of the operational capability of the equipment they use. They oversee counting the number of individuals who evade detection to the best.
But you rely on technology to observe those as well, and you don't know if your technology is working or not working.
Senator, I believe I've answered the question.
No, you've not. You've said you don't know. The answer you've given is you do not know. You don't know much of any of the answers to the questions we're asking you. This is why we need an impeachment trial. This is why Americans are demanding an impeachment trial. I yield back.
Over the 90 minutes here, but I have one senator, there perhaps another one. Then we'll give you a full 10-minute break if, with your indulgence, if we can get through this first round. Senator Butler, you're recognized for your questions.